Enjoy the ride, pal.
You look at a public company like Coinbase in the United States, very regulated, public company, audited financials, and you had a private company based in the Bahamas, and purportedly what the former CEO of FTX has represented is that FTX US is solvent. I don't know. I think there's a lot of information out there. I don't know what the truth is right now. But I think the idea that it's not regulated is overstated. The UK actually has really been a leader in crypto regulation. Countries like Singapore, Japan, the UK have led much of that. And as CZ described, what happened here, I don't think it was about crypto regulation. It was maybe fraud. Maybe, that's true in many, many industries, not specific to crypto.
But I mean, I was talking to my colleagues here, and I was going to ask you the first question is, are you a crook, Brad? Because I don't think you are for 1 minute. No, I genuinely, we've spoken on many occasions. But the problem is, what I think, whether you are or not, or whether SBF is or not, or whether CZ is or not, it's irrelevant. And that protection that comes from the regulation that you and Karen were just discussing there surely would take out the guessing whether when you put your money in this wallet or you invest in this product, whether it is being run by crooks. And you're absolutely right. There is a lot of fraudulent activity in all kinds of financial products. But it does appear that crypto is attracting more than its fair share of crooks.
I guess what I would say is, anytime you have the formative stages of an industry, it draws all kinds of interesting people, charlatans, and potentially crooks. Again, I'm taking there's some facts.
And I'm not accusing anyone of it.
I know.
But you've raised it, the fraudulent activity. There is a high chance that SBF has been conducting some illegal activity. There is a chance, and I say nothing's been proven.
I agree with everything you said there. Look, crypto has never just been sunshine and roses. I think crypto as an industry needs to mature. You and I have spoken a number of times, and I think Ripple has always tried to be very corporate focused, very much. And frankly, even though we are a private company and not regulated in certain ways as a public company, we're extremely transparent. Starting 5 years ago, we started publishing quarterly reports around everything we see going on in XRP markets. We publish how much XRP we sold, how much we own. These aren't things we're required to do. We do it because transparency builds trust. And if we want the industry to not go through some of these things, we need to continue.
So work with Gary rather than against him. Why can't you guys bury the hatchet and find a way forward that you can make it a regulated product? This is Gary Gensler I'm talking about, the CFTC.
Well, look, the United States, interestingly, is the only country on the planet that thinks that XRP is a security. We operate we're actually growing leaps and bounds outside the United States. 95% of our customers are non-US. Just this week, we announced our key kind of product using XRP. It is now live into Africa. So we continue to grow. The dynamic in the United States, I think, is, really the SEC not following what the law says and trying to grab power, because the Securities and Exchange Commission can only regulate securities. If these aren't securities, then they can't regulate that. I think you're seeing someone try to power grab as opposed to work constructively with the industry. Frankly, there is a process for the SEC to do rule making, public comment, to create rules. Enforcement, trying to regulate through enforcement is not constructive for any industry.
Just on that, where are we on a end of for the XRP story with the SEC? Because as you would have seen, I think you got a 10% spike in XRP on the back of speculation that it was done, it was over, and then it was perhaps dismissed as not over. So where are we on the court case?
So the good news, this is all in the public courts, so it's all very transparent. Again, transparency builds trust. The motions for summary judgment have been filed. They will be fully briefed in front of the court. It's in the Southern District of the Southern District of New York. I'm probably getting that slightly wrong, but that'll be done by the end of November. So the case will be before the judge by the end of November. The question is, how long does a federal judge take to make a decision on this case? It could be 2 months, it could be 6 months. We don't know. My best guess is certainly in the first half of next year, there'll be closure here. And this is a truly pivotal case for the crypto industry in the United States. The United States is still the largest economy. I think we all in the crypto industry should care how this goes. But this really is the SEC trying to say this is all us. Gary Gensler has said he views nearly all crypto as securities. But frankly, he hasn't gone after a Coinbase. If he thinks all crypto securities, well, that means Coinbase is trading unregistered securities. They're a publicly registered SEC regulated company, but he hasn't done that. So kind of what does he actually believe? this case will be pretty seminal in making that determination.
Yeah, and I think it's very useful, coming back to your point about setting out the guardrails and regulation. Cases like this help provide some precedents so we can understand then how the law interprets this. But let me ask you a slightly different question, because I'm probably the biggest conspiracy theorist around this desk here, and I'd love to know what you think about this. We've seen the blockchain and use of the blockchain progress, even as there's been this whole other stuff going on with FTX and so on and so forth. And in the background, the blockchain has been adopted for CBDC experiments. The Bank of France issued a bond with it, and so on and so. So it's happening. Is there a story here or a narrative where every time one of these blow-ups happen, it solidifies the case for the authorities to ring-fence digital and crypto around a CBDC, and your industry dies unless you get on board with a government-mandated, central bank-controlled digital currency?
I view these as separate pieces. Central bank CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, I think may have a role in the future of crypto. Ripple has publicly announced several countries we're working with, where countries, to your point, are doing pilots and testing, issuing central bank really stable coins of a fiat on the XRP ledger. Those are countries like Romania and Bhutan. But right now I view those as tests. Separately, those are all stable coins, right? They're tied to a fiat. Separately, obviously, you have cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, like XRP, that trade independent of any fiat. I don't view as one versus the other. And I feel, Ripple has always taken the point of view that these are complementary. We're trying to work with the industry. And at the end of the day, if you have a plethora of CBDCs, you still have the need to settle from the British pound to the Argentinian peso. And we're really trying to position XRP, because it's so scalable, because it's so cheap per transaction, so fast, as that bridge asset. And if we can make the entire global economy more efficient for global trade by using that bridge asset, so again, the core of what Ripple's solving today, a cross-border transaction, typically viewed as SWIFT, is slow, it's expensive, it's error-prone. We should not rely upon technology from literally 50 years ago.
Party in spaces popping, you keep window shopping. I be spaceship hopping, you need help, we dropping. Big bags, what we dropping. What went down was shocking. Left behind you sobbing. Crypto on my noggin. I be nodding crypto. Big bags and they explode. I told you when you missed those. I got bags like a distro. Billionaires, billionaires, trillionaires. I see cryptonaires all around the world. I see cryptonaires. Hold on for their life and don't ever let go.